You ever notice how silence can scream? Oh, it's the loudest sound in the room. Louder than the begging, louder than the accusations, louder than the fists slamming the table. Silence cuts deeper than knives, my friend. Because silence is what you hear after the bombs have already gone off, after the fire has eaten everything worth burning. Silence is the sound of aftermath, and that's where the real truth lives. You see, people are funny creatures. They dress up betrayal in ribbons, smile while they sharpen the knife, and say things like, "Trust me," as if those words mean anything at all. They stab, and when you bleed, they ask why you made a mess on the floor. Hypocrites, liars, clowns, and not the fun kind. But you kept giving, didn't you? You poured your heart out like wine into broken cups, and they drank it. Oh, they drank it all, then tossed the glass against the wall and laughed at the shards. And here's the best part. They expect you to put it back together. They expect you to keep pouring, because kind souls, oh, they bleed willingly. They'd rather suffer themselves than let someone else taste the same poison. That's the joke. That's the tragedy. That's the beautiful, twisted little comedy. But I'll tell you a secret. Silence is the best revenge. Not the screaming, not the chaos, not the fire. No, no, no. That's what they want. They want the show. They want the theater. They want to watch you shatter so they can applaud the performance. But when you don't give it to them, when you sit still, when you vanish into the dark corners of your own mind, and you stop feeding their hunger, that's when the real madness begins for them, because silence is a mirror, and people don't like what they see in mirrors, not when it's their own faces staring back. Silence forces them to hear the echo of their lies, their schemes, their betrayals. And when the curtain drops and there's no applause, oh, it eats them alive. You rise in that silence. You sharpen yourself in it. You turn the pain into something else, something dangerous. Because pain, you see, is clay, wet, messy, unshaped. But when you press your hands into it, when you carve it, when you let it dry in the furnace of time, pain becomes sculpture. It becomes armor. It becomes art. And while you are shaping yourself, what are they doing? They're clawing at their own shadows. They're waiting for your tears, your tantrums, your breakdowns. But instead, all they get is nothing. And nothing, oh, nothing is terrifying. They start poking, whispering, spreading stories, waiting for the spark. But the spark doesn't come. Instead, you grow quieter, stronger, untouchable, and that silence becomes a weight pressing on their chest every night, every morning, every damn second they realize they've lost the only thing real they ever touched. You thought you were weak when you stopped speaking, but let me tell you, silence isn't weakness. It's war. It's psychological torture. It's the most elegant execution, because when someone can't get a reaction from you, they stop existing in your world. And once they stop existing, the game is over. The kind-hearted always break the hardest. But when they mend, oh, when they mend, they don't just heal. They evolve. They become untouchable. They become strange. They become beautiful monsters. Not the kind you run from in the dark. Number, the kind you dream about, the kind you regret, the kind that haunts you in silence. You think you're broken. You're not broken. You're becoming something else, something sharp, something alive, something they can't understand. And when they see you again, when they see the silence you've wrapped around yourself like a crown of thorns, they won't know whether to bow or run. That's the power of pain. That's the power of silence. It doesn't just change you, it redefines you. And when the world expects screams and you give them nothing but a smile, that's when they finally understand. You were never the victim. You were always the storm. And isn't it funny how the world teaches you to wear a mask long before you even know you're wearing one? Ha! They clap when you're smiling. They cheer when you're dancing. But the second you show your real face, oh no, 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 that's too much truth for their delicate eyes. So they demand you keep performing, keep entertaining, keep bleeding glitter on the stage. But when you step off, when the mask slips, that's when the silence arrives. That's when the truth finally walks in. They never loved you. They loved the performance. They loved the reflection of themselves in your eyes. Parasites. And parasites only panic when the host finally closes the door. And you, oh, you slammed it shut. That's when the beautiful madness starts to bubble. The kind that doesn't shout, doesn't rage, doesn't beg. No, the quiet madness, the kind you carry like a secret blade under your coat, the kind that makes people uneasy because you're no longer predictable, because when they cut you down, they expected you to stay there, but instead, you started laughing, not out loud, not yet, just inside, a low hum, a secret smile, because now you know what they don't. Their betrayal wasn't your ending, it was their gift. Pain is the cruelest teacher, but oh, it teaches well. It carves lessons into bone, brands wisdom into skin, writes poetry into scars. And silence is the graduation ceremony. It's when you finally realize that you don't need the applause, the validation, the stage, or the audience. You've outgrown the theater. You've burned down the tent. You've become the show. And that terrifies them, because people don't fear your screams. They expect them. They fear your stillness. They fear your ability to look them dead in the eye and give them nothing. No reaction, no recognition, just a quiet smile that says, I see you for what you are, and you don't matter anymore. Oh, that smile, that silence. It's not revenge, it's resurrection, it's transformation. It's when you realize you've been carrying chains that were never locked. You shake them off, you stand tall, and suddenly, the whole game looks different. Suddenly you're not their pawn, their puppet, their clown. You're the one holding the strings. And the strings are invisible, aren't they? That's the best part. They'll feel the pull. They'll sense the shift. They'll lie awake, wondering why their control slipped, why their lies no longer land, why their claws scrape against steel, where there used to be flesh. And the answer will claw back at them in the silence. You changed. You evolved. You're not playing their little game anymore. This is where most people break. But you became something else entirely, something untouchable, something they whispered about but never truly believed existed. A soul that feeds on its own fire, a heart that wears scars like medals, a mind that learned to laugh in the dark. They'll call it coldness, they'll call it cruelty, they'll say you've lost yourself, but you'll know the truth. You never lost yourself. You found yourself in the ashes. You found the version of you that doesn't bow, doesn't beg, doesn't bleed for people who sharpen knives behind their smiles. And so, the silence doesn't just protect you, it announces you. It walks into the room before you do. It whispers, "Careful. This one survived the fire. This one learned to dance in the dark. This one doesn't play by your rules anymore." And when they see you, when they finally face the monster they created, do you know what they'll realize? Too late. Always too late. You are never theirs to break. You are never theirs to own. You are never the punchline. You are always the joke. And the world? Oh, the world is just now catching up to the punchline. That's the truth. That's the joke. And that is the end.